Yeah, that's right.
He bought a twist bottle.
Hey,
You guys need to stop ripping on that.
I had to dust this bottle off.
Oh.
No.
There's a reason.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I can't wait to find out.
This is new.
Well, then maybe it was pollen. I don't know.
It could have been pollen.
Relatively.
Which one did you get it at?
Mooresville.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then it might not have been to the left.
It was on the bottom.
Wasn't in the bourbon section.
I can tell you in Cornelius, it was right at eye level.
In the rye section.
Don't.
$24.
He didn't go for it.
Well, mind you,
I know.
how much Old Tub
always
is.
Behaving.
Mind you,
That shows restraint.
mind you,
I'm
how
impressed.
much is Old Tub?
You mean Old Tub the bourbon?
Yeah.
I like the bourbon.
Let's go.
You guys ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bourbon Boys, the podcast where the guys get together to talk about bourbon, about life, lore, and enjoy the libations, and everything else that comes along with being a dad. We're not bourbon snobs, as you can tell. Just a bunch of guys who like to get together and enjoy bourbon for what it is and how it tastes. It's pretty simple. This is podcast 23, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we'll go with 23. This is Alton. I'm here with my boys, Kurt.
Hey there.
Dude's here with us.
Yo.
And Mr. Krat's back.
Hello.
Welcome back, Krat. Missed you last time.
Yes.
It's like welcome back, Cotter.
but not the 70s.
And not the hair. So tonight we've got 3 bourbons.
Do we though?
Wow.
Do we?
All right, just get it out. Get it out.
All right. Tonight we've got 3 items from the Whiskey Advocate 2020
Top 20.
You know,
Top 20 list. So
I've listened to all of our podcasts, and I didn't know we were changing our names.
Bourbon Boys was so last year.
Yeah, apparently we've tried them all.
We're now the Rye Rascals.
The Rye Rascals.
Or the whiskey whiner. That's me. I'm a whiskey whiner.
Yeah, but listen, I don't know what your problem is because 2 of them are bourbons.
Because
The fact
we're
that
the
only 2
Bourbon
of them,
Boys.
the fact that only 2 of them are bourbons. I think you've solved it.
Welcome to Whiskey Boys.
Honest mistake. Get over it.
So we've got some adventure to be had. Again, these are 3 from the 2020 Whiskey Advocate Top 20.
Yeah.
We'll be publishing our 2021 Top 20.
21.
Oh, sure.
21.
We have to do 21.
They'll probably all be bourbons, but maybe.
That's a good start.
So we've got a rare breed, which I love, had before. It's great. Excited about
That's
that
a
one.
go-to.
Got a 12-year Knob Creek.
Didn't realize that was a score.
Yep, that looks like a winner. So
Yeah.
excited about that.
Number 2.
And then we are going to be meeting an Old Overholt, a bottled and bond straight rye whiskey, 100
Interesting.
proof. So we'll be trying that on the journey as well.
Okay.
So let's go have some fun.
I'm coming
Drink
out with
up.
an open mind.
Good.
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're rolling your eyes. It's hard to
Slowly
tell,
opening.
but okay. So, gentlemen, where are we starting?
What are we pouring?
Let's start with the 12-year.
The 12 works.
Yep.
No, well, then fill me back up.
It is number 2. It is number 2 on the list of 20.
All right.
From Whiskey Advocate.
Yeah. And I scored this one through my Flaviar subscription.
Oh, wow.
Hashtag Flaviar.
Hashtag Flaviar.
Do they pay us? say
Soon. Very, very soon.
Okay.
Once I'm done paying them, soon it's coming. And I didn't realize this. I didn't realize I was scoring something. That was probably the luckiest find of the year, outside of like the 5 Blantons scored over Christmas. But this was something that popped up on my Flaviar, and I was like, "Oh, interesting." I'm starting to dig Knob Creek, and didn't realize that they had anything that was in the aged category. And they've got a 9, they've got a 12, they've got a 15, and they're working on a 20 or 21.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But this 12 is gone. Like you can't get it. So very short run. And on the aftermarket, it's up over like $150 a bottle.
Really?
This I think was $55 on Flaviar, which tends to be $5 to $10 higher than what you can find on the shelf, but That was the only place I saw it, snagged it, and it was because I remember sending it out to you guys saying,
Yeah.
If you see this, and since then we haven't found it on
No, and
any shelf.
I went onto my Flaviar and I couldn't get it.
Nope.
Yep.
So,
Casker's doesn't have it.
but I'm a huge fan of the Knob Creek 9, so I'm really excited to try this one.
I just recently got a bottle of the 9. Mills's friend Drew came over and brought a bottle of the 9 year. I was really impressed.
It's good.
It's very good.
No, it's very
Smart
good.
kid.
Yeah, welcome back.
Well, he's sucking up. You better.
Yeah.
Bring the 9.
Yeah, so I mean, Knob Creek. We talked this a few episodes back when we were doing the whole Jim Beam family lineage. I always thought it was just like straight common mixer type, and then started to read more about it. I'd never tried it up until I picked up like the regular Knob Creek, the 9, and then the 12.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm liking all of them, and I think it's just maybe it was just the presentation. It looks very modern. Doesn't look like it's an old established.
Yeah.
But these guys, Knob Creek came out in the late '80s, early '90s. It is the same Jim Beam mash bill we've talked about in the past. So it's 75 corn, 13 barley, 12 rye, and it's it's the same blend, but this one's been in the barrel for 12 years, so it's got a real good dark.
Yeah, great
amber
color.
Yeah,
to
the
it.
color's great.
Yep.
I mean, I think this is. It reminds me a little bit of the Jim Beam. I think it was a black label that we tried, right?
It was we had the Jim Beam black
and I think
label.
it's the same, right? Like Jim Beam,
All the same.
feels the same. Like
Yep.
you look at it and you're like, I don't want that. That's kind of a common bourbon. But the black label, I remember being really good.
This is yummy.
This is really
good.
good.
It's got good heat to it, but it's got some really nice sweet flavor.
Yep, bottled and bond.
Okay.
It is a limited edition, but they say that they're going to start to get more of these 12s going. There was just that, a couple gap years. It's a small batch, and we've talked about this before. Small batches, fewer barrels. I don't know what the count would be for a mass producer to be considered a small batch.
Don't know.
So I'll need to do a run to the
Some
Google
homework.
truck on that
Yeah.
one. But it's 100 proof, so bottled and bond. The first 12 year came out super limited in the fall of 2019, and then it came back in April last year, and I picked it up I think around that time. So I got lucky on this one.
Yeah.
Now on the nose, what do you guys get? Anything?
I don't have anything in my glass, so
Well, you gotta fix that. We'll hook you up.
I think the
Custard,
You get custard.
not
just don't say English
apricots.
biscuits.
Yep. Get a little bit of spice, mild spice, baking spices.
It's funny. There is a sweetness to it. I do taste that or smell that.
But
Sorry.
you don't get the alcohol smell.
No, not so much. Not so much.
And I think that's coming from. It's got to be from the 12. That it's been in the barrel long enough.
The
It's got
smoothness, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really really smooth.
It is.
But it still has heat.
Yeah.
Like at 100
Yeah.
proof, it's going to have some heat. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good heat, though. It's not like a overpowering flavor as much as it just warms you.
yeah.
Interesting thing too. After 12 years, you think you'd get a little bit more oaky, woody kind of taste to it. I don't get that.
So a lot of the reviews had nearly every flavor coming out of it, but the notes that were very common were vanilla, maple, cherry, the oak spice, the oak char. I don't know if I can tell the difference.
Get that.
Cherry, sweet spice, and honey.
Yeah.
I mean, what I like about it is the finish on it is just like lingers.
It's so good.
forever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's really good. I mean, it's
Yeah.
from the point at which you taste it till it goes down. Like it just sits there, so it's nice.
Yeah, it's if you can get it, and if it gets back into production and they catch up with the demand, and it ends up going on the shelf at $50-$55,
Yeah.
I think it's a great buy for that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So remind the folks out there what bottled and bond means.
Well, Kurt, the Bottled and Bond Act of 1897. Back in those days, people were mixing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of
So-
stuff, Dave?
What kind of
Stuff.
stuff, Dave? Tell us more.
Stuff.
Tell us more, Dave.
Like
So
shoe
what-
polish?
We're deeply interested.
Turpentine,
Turpentine.
Parmesan cheese.
Get you every time.
So they basically set out some rules where it's got to be one distiller, one distillery, and all done within one season, distilling season.
Okay.
And then they literally put a little wrapper over there, put the thing on there, and
Okay.
Your
That's it.
word was your bond.
So
and it has to be 100 proof.
So you're saying this is bottled in bond.
This is bottled in bond.
So we have 2 bottled in bond tonight, even
We
though
do.
one's a whiskey.
Does it say bottled in bond on that? It's 100 proof, which
I
usually
don't
if
think it
someone's
does.
making that
That's why I was
effort,
just checking.
They're all whiskeys, Kurt.
The Old Overholt does, but this does
They
not.
are. But just to be clear, we have a little bourbon snob over there
I know. That's
manning the computer.
This does not.
It's a nice sign.
So that's an interesting question.
Okay.
It can be so. Back to your thing, meeting all that criteria. One distiller under one roof, one distilling season, 100 proof.
100 proof.
Apparently, it can be 100 proof, and not be of the same distilling season
Correct.
or from one distiller.
Correct.
Interesting.
And then it still would not, but it does not qualify.
Does
as
not
bottled
qualify
bond.
as bottled and bond.
Yeah.
Just as rye doesn't qualify as a bourbon.
Right. Which at the end of the day, if you think about it now, it doesn't really mean anything.
Well, the rye
Bottled and
does.
bond. No, maybe bottled and
No, but
bond.
that shouldn't be on the table, but
Yeah. But they do say that the interesting thing with the bottled bond, because it is one distiller, one distillery, and one season,
right. That's hard to
it
do.
allows for a very clean test between bourbons, because there's
Yeah.
no blends. It's
Yeah.
just it's like the most pure
That's pretty
form
awesome.
of distilling in order to put kind of head-to-head taste tests. And stuff.
And it's still it I would imagine it still has to be cut because you're not going to get a cask strength or barrel strength coming
Correct.
out
Right,
at
at
100 proof
100, right.
on the nose.
Right. Right.
So this is still getting cut.
So back from the Google truck, and small batches anywhere between 10 and 50 bottles. Bottles.
Are you sure?
Big
Barrels.
difference.
It's
I'm going to go with barrels. It's a very, very small batch.
Sorry about that. Yes.
That's all right. Did you ask the
Between
Google truck what we
I-
call that?
It's called a small batch.
Okay. Okay.
Don't even take me there, Derek.
We got time.
We got time. But yeah, it's 10 to 50 barrels is technically what classifies a small batch.
Gotcha.
So,
And bottles in a barrel, what would we say, 250?
Yeah, about 250, depending on the evaporation. Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
So, I mean, yeah, limited run, right?
This is really good. This is showing up, when I was doing my research, this was showing up as number 1 and number 2 on everyone's list
Yeah.
last year.
Real
So
Well, I remember I forgot who
Just
came
shit
out.
lucky.
I forgot who came out with it as number 1, and then you just couldn't find it.
gone.
Yeah.
Was it us?
Did we announce it as number 1? No.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't think
We do
got
have
out
that
in time.
impact on the
Yeah,
market.
yeah. I don't think we
We
get
can
the press.
swing the market.
we moved
Yeah.
the market. Absolutely.
At least the ABC on Mooresville.
All right.
Over by.
So,
Food line.
I've never seen it on the shelf anywhere.
Nope. I bet it's out of the beach.
Probably.
Probably.
Which-
Gonna miss that.
Which reminds me, we need
I'll
one more
hook ya-
weekend out
I'll
there
hook- I'll hook
to
ya
get
up.
our bourbon run.
Nice. But it's winning all sorts of awards.
Yeah.
If you see it, what is it? Like a navy blue label?
Yep.
Would you describe that?
Yep.
It's got a big 12 on it. They stopped putting the years on them because they just were not seeing the strength in that. Now it's come back to them to go, all right, we're going to do a 9, we're going to do a 12, a 15, and like I said, a 20, 21.
So you mentioned that the production pipeline's pretty good. They're going to be doing more of these. Is that right?
They're
Are
gonna-
getting
they're gonna-
some orders? So that's awesome.
Yeah,
Perfect timing.
they're gonna the investment they made 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 12 years ago from 2019 is they're hoping that inventory can keep up with the demand, which is great. So maybe we'll see maybe we'll see a 15 tucked in there.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something.
Good.
So here's a question for you. I mean, is there greater risk the longer time it sits in the barrel? So because I haven't seen a lot of like 12, 15. I've seen 9. I've seen
I think you're probably
4.
looking at
I've
the
seen-
balance of carrying that inventory cost versus losing 5% of it every year.
Yep.
So the math
Fair.
is somewhere like.
So the money part of it, I guess, but I'm talking about flavor, like taste. Like, is there a risk or greater risk when it sits there longer?
It can still go bad. There's all sorts of, like when we were reading the Pappyland, they had dozens of barrels to choose from, and they're like, it's technically the Pappy mash bill and the barreling. Some just didn't behave well, and it's a risk.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wonder at what point they didn't make the journey. Remember, that was the whole line of what made the journey. But did that happen at year 5 to 6? And so it was still getting
That's
better,
fair too.
or
So
do
they're
you hit a tipping point?
the frequency of them testing it is enough that you wouldn't be surprised 15 years from now, like, oh my God, this tastes like, trash.
Right.
You would know
Right.
going along.
Checking
like,
along the way.
Yeah, we're going to pull this one off now and blend it with something else because there's 250 bottles here of decent.
Yep. It's never going to be elite.
But it's never going to get better. Yeah.
I know that feeling.
The interesting thing about that bottle too,
Come on home, Kurt.
Derek, is it has a cork. It has a cork topper to it.
Kurt, your restraint tonight.
Oh, God.
I'm trying to
Here we
amazing.
go. He's doing a setup right now.
I thought it was like a Lent thing. I figured like at this point,
Well, I was out. I was
What?
out our last episode, so I thought I'd ease back in. I don't want to just come. I don't want to be the asshole of the group.
that's me tonight.
Well, that's your job.
I got it.
Not today. Maybe in a few minutes.
Yeah. Keep working on it.
So I would rather us kind of bookend what I suspect is going to be interesting. And so we've got
Honest to God.
we've got our Knob Creek 12. We've got our
Strong start. We can wrap up now. Last call.
I don't know.
Any
I mean,
ideas?
again,
Hit the referee
I do.
Listen,
I'm
if
a
somebody
big
else
fan of
wants,
the-
if somebody else wants to make the list, go for it.
I'm a big fan of the kicking chicken over here with the rare breed. So
Yeah,
we'll see how
baby.
that one goes. But
All right.
in the meantime,
can we just get on with it?
in the meantime, we've got the Overholt, Old Overholt. So this one is interesting, and we have these little text threads that we go back and forth on pretty much every day, a fair amount of the day.
Okay.
And
I'm on some of those.
Kurt teed this one up.
You and I are the only ones who respond to them.
As a translator.
We get an occasional.
I'm a translator.
We get
No,
an
we were-
occasional ping from Dave.
Hey,
and
we
Eltoon.
were ranting on this particular selection that I was tasked with running to the ABC store to get.
I'm glad you dropped whatever you're doing.
By Kurt and and picked
appreciate
it
it.
up, but and I didn't mind because it wasn't a big investment. But I will tell you, what we have here is again Old Overholt. This is the oldest rye whiskey in the country, so 200 years worth of history behind this label.
Okay.
Started in Pennsylvania, of all places, not necessarily. Well, certainly not bourbon land.
It's
but
close. It's close to
It's close,
Kentucky.
right?
Mind you, a lot of distilleries didn't start in Kentucky.
True.
So
True. But anyway, so this is the rye that we've been picking on Kurt about pretty much all day.
Yeah.
So anyways, this has had a interesting history. So let me just start. I'm going to play Kurt, history professor here for a little bit. So the Old Overholt really started off as kind of a go-to rye. And so again, we talked about 200 years worth of history here. It's been pretty well seated at the bottom shelf at the liquor store recently. However, if you go back and look at some of the early days, they've had some pretty famous drinkers. Ulysses S. Grant
Heard of him.
was a big fan.
Yeah.
Joe Henry Holiday, aka Doc Holiday.
Oh.
So gunslingers
Excellent.
were a big fan of the
Yep.
the Old Overholt. I don't know why I have a hard time with that name, but anyways, I do.
That's understandable.
So
No, you said it's anchored its position on the bottom shelf.
no, it has ascended from the bottom
It-
shelf.
Ascended. Interesting. And with a plastic bottle, I figured it'd be closer to bouncing off the floor.
it's the Popov of rye.
It's very cool. Okay. I like what they've done.
So, anyways, the Oberholzer family back in the early 1800s settled in Pennsylvania, and this is when I'm getting my Kurt on right now.
I love it.
By Henry. He had a farm that did a lot of crazy stuff with hemp and weaving and things like that. That's a whole different podcast. But that all started at their farm in 1803. They had about 263 acres. Henry's son, Abraham, decided that he would start playing around with liquor and distilling. And so he started the distilling operation for his father. He started really kind of, I think it was around 1810 or so. What the hell is going on? Oh,
Usually you have like an uncorking sound effect.
yeah, usually it's the uncorking. Now it's the
Okay.
unscrewing.
This is
okay.
And it's
For the
literally
twist-off.
a plastic twist off.
You know, there's some great wines with twist-off
It
caps.
is.
I'm just saying.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, Abraham again
You
started.
don't see great bourbons with twist-off caps, but that's fine.
You
It's
might
a different
someday.
podcast.
Maybe
You
this is
just
the
drink some
first.
bourbon water.
What was Abraham doing? Yes, I did.
some
Yeah.
Mad Dog you're drinking over there?
I'm getting ready.
Yeah.
So, anyways, 1810, he really kind of started in on the distilling. Jump forward to 1832, and they're at the capacity of about 55,000 gallons a year of rye. And so production grew pretty quickly with this guy. He ended up bringing in his sons, what was, are you snoring over there?
Did you listen to the last podcast?
No. Did he snore?
No, he was like, I'm not a big guy in history, but here's a 45-minute history tour.
Oh, so were you busting on Kurt?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Well, so let me put Kurt's tweed
It
coat
was
back
a
on.
setup for the tasting
Let
we
me,
were going to be
put
doing.
Kurt's tweed jacket back on and get back in there. So,
Tweed
Abraham died in 1870. Ownership at that point went to his grandson Henry Clay Frick.
Frick.
Even better.
Frick.
Oh,
Frick and
So
frack.
Frick
the
and Frack.
origin,
So Frick had his buddy Andrew Mellon.
also known as frack.
Think about the Mellons, the banking
in
family Mellons, right?
Carnegie melon.
Yep.
Carnegie.
Anyways,
those melons.
Yeah,
Yes.
those. Yeah.
Carnegie melon?
Not the ones from South Carolina.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Not those guys out.
Marcia.
Then, anyways, Frick died. Mellon took possession of the distillery. Right about this time, Prohibition came in, right? So Mellon also just happened to be sworn in by President Harding at that time as Secretary of Treasury and the one responsible for handing out all the medicinal whiskey licenses.
Ooh,
So
well played.
that's the only reason why this label is 200 years old.
Yeah, he
So
made that happen.
politics all the way back in.
He
So
made that happen.
My God, he's only on page 204.
I'm almost done here.
It's double-sided.
I just
Kurt.
can't wait. I just can't wait to taste this. Also, all right,
It's
so
actually not that bad.
I'm gonna put Kurt's ascot on now and continue through this. Anyways, in 1987, Jim Beam picked him up. They moved the distillery to Kentucky, and I'm on the last page.
You're doing great, Dave.
Thank you, sir.
He's trying to put off tasting it as
I know,
long as
that's
possible.
I know.
That's my favorite part of it.
I think I've covered everything else, but it's interesting though because what they say now is what we're getting ready to taste right now is absolutely nothing like what it was 200 years ago. So not a lot of consistency throughout the evolution of the rye itself. Now it has corn. It used to not have any corn in it at all.
Oh,
And it gets really mixed reviews. So what do you guys?
and it's number 12.
It's number 12.
It's number 12 on
the
20,
list.
yeah.
And
So
there are people that say they hate it, and there's one guy that I found that put it as number 12.
from Whiskey Advocate,
So
nonetheless.
what are you guys smelling?
I do right away. I do actually get a hint of the corn in the smell, so I can taste a little bit of the sweet. Or taste. I can smell a little bit of the sweetness. It has a little bit of a bite, and the bite lingers for me. I don't mind it. It's not. I mean, listen, it's not. It's not one that I would necessarily say I would constantly have, but I actually don't mind it.
It's not bad.
I don't think it is.
So let me read this to you because I thought it was kind of interesting.
It's not for all the trash I just dumped on it.
Yeah, say you're sorry.
No, but it's
Not going there. No,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
but it's not disgusting.
But okay,
I would mix it. I
Okay.
don't know if I would sit down
Okay,
like
but
after
I'm gonna
an
push.
earned day.
Yeah, hold on a second.
And drink this thing
Hold on
neat.
a second. So I'm going to push a little bit on this one because if I had put all three of these in glasses without you guys knowing that this came out of a plastic bottle with a twist off top, I guarantee you would not have made those comments.
It still is going to hit third place tonight.
Oh, definitely.
Well, don't give away the end of the podcast.
Oh, I think everybody had that
Listen,
plastic screw top.
I don't disagree with you there, but you cannot deny
not
that
bad.
it actually
We've had
doesn't
worse.
taste bad.
We've had worse.
We've had worse.
Yeah.
We've had worse.
Old Nick Williams, worse.
I'm defending
And that was a
Old
bourbon.
Overholt.
Clover.
worse.
Worse.
I'm defending it.
Okay, let me read this to you
Yeah.
guys.
Hurry
Can I
up.
read it again?
It's a hot.
Hot mess.
Do I need to start in on you?
Whatever it takes.
All right. A hot
power
wood.
through this one.
This is great. A hot wood forward
I know
note
what that's like.
leads the way on the nose. Okay. And it arrives as quite rustic and frontier-like.
Oh. And now it's
Burly with
artisan.
notes of matchstick and leather dominating.
matchstick.
First rule of writing bourbon reviews: never put burly, matchstick, leather, and dominating in the same sentence.
Some people may go for that.
David's sweating.
Okay, but
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't like this. I don't like this drink just because of that.
Should I rub it on my chest? I guess.
If it makes you feel burly
Okay.
and want to be dominated,
But
maybe.
okay, but like, let me describe to you how they described it in Whiskey Advocate, right? So they talk about the new version and indicated by its red cap. We already covered that. The aromas of Christmas spice cake, cinnamon, apple, and
Toasted
grain.
No.
Mouthful of berry fruit.
No.
With seductive allspice. That might go with more with your description.
And what is seductive about allspice?
I don't know.
anyways?
I will tell you this: when I
I thought it
actually
was just me.
when I
all
When
this
I
time.
rub it on my
see,
chest?
this is the difference. I'm trying to be serious here.
Natalie,
you
I
guys
thought
are
it
just
was
being a
me.
bunch of
It's
jerks.
the allspice. I wish I'd known years ago.
No, but I mean, listen. When I first kind of like I think it's pretty smooth going in, and then it does have, and then you get that a little bit of hit of that spice, and it does have a finish. I don't necessarily believe it's a long finish, but it sits with you for a bit.
How much have you finished of your glass?
This is half of what I had.
Okay. As I'm getting to the end of this, I'm getting nothing.
It's very light. It is very.
It's very light. That's what I mean.
But it's
When you
100
put it
proof.
in,
I know it's 100 proof,
Yeah,
and
but it's not-
It's also very flavor forward.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. Like
Yes,
when you drink
that's
it,
a
it's
better
like,
way to describe
Yeah.
it.
It's like very front of the
Yeah.
mouth, and then it really goes away.
It's
quick.
not bad, Kurt.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Listen, I didn't make the shit. You don't have to like it because of me. So
But you are, propping it up a little bit for a plastic screw top bottle.
it's
Yeah.
actually
Just
not
for the record,
bad.
not
gentlemen,
bad.
it's a plastic screw top. The bottle itself is glass, so be careful.
Thank you for clarifying that.
It is not
because
completely the
Mr.
Popov of rye.
Mr. Do over there made it sound like it came out of a plastic bottle.
Well, they went out of their way to make the glass look like plastic. So
Actually,
they're really trying to play
kinda
this
did.
in.
It's
Kinda
got a little
does.
bit of a
I
matte
have to
finish.
It
admit.
does. It does. It's
Yeah.
distorted.
All right, so not our favorite, but definitely not the worst we've had, and also I don't think it's that bad.
So price point matters a lot.
25 bucks.
So again, not bad. If you're if somebody
I think
wants
they were
to,
paid.
But the interesting thing is, it does not. To me, it does not taste like. I
can't wait.
It does not taste like a normal rye, and it's because of the corn.
Yep.
Which is surprising. Like stick with it. If you're gonna go rye.
But interesting.
If you want to be corn,
They started
be a fucking
adding. They
bourbon.
started adding the corn to it. They started adding the corn to it when rye fell out of flavor with the population. So it's
fall out
kind
of flavor or favor.
So it is kind of a bourbon.
Favor.
Maybe
Favor, okay, right.
So it is.
it's a poser.
So it is kind of a bourbon. Just
It's
has
a
a
poser.
whiskey name to it. It's hiding behind the name.
so
It's
was
got
it?
rye in it.
You talked about started in Pennsylvania.
You can't even look at me.
And then moved to Kentucky. Was it the Beam family who actually
Yeah.
were the first one? And then when they got to Kentucky, they brought their still, and then it's like, well, there's corn
the
everywhere. We'll
bones.
use that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it happened after that part, but that was right when rye started. Like people stopped drinking rye,
Okay.
and so the corn went in to probably cut back more
Right.
of that peppery flavor with
Yeah.
with
Right.
rye.
And let me remind you, the biggest critic around this table tonight doesn't like rye.
Critiker,
Oh yeah, that's me. Yes.
dude,
Because I signed up for Bourbon Boys,
not the Rye Rascals.
Well,
not the Rye Rascals. It's like a volleyball team.
yeah, they're like
I'm just trying to mix it up a little bit. Obviously, you're not very flexible.
Wow,
All right, can we move on? Let's get to Rare Breed because obviously this
Oh,
one's
thank
not
God.
working.
whatever you want to do, sassy pants.
Yeah, whatever
Oh,
I want
and
to
he's
do.
back.
Yes.
Welcome back.
All the
Craig.
constraint lasted for.
Let's bring out some real
Where's
juice.
Amanda? I need an Amanda button.
More than an Amanda Button, you need like a jersey.
It's so good.
I'm back.
He's back with his apricot.
Don't you have to work? You always have to work.
Yeah, I know. Try not to.
Yeah. We're trying to do something about that. All right, bring
Let's
it
do
on.
it. Bring on the turkey.
Oh yes, the bird.
The kicking chicken.
Gobble,
Who's
gobble.
talking about the bird?
You are.
Hey, I saw a wild.
You
turkey.
brought it.
I saw a wild turkey last week.
Well, this is awkward. The one text from you I did read said you're doing the open, which I did.
You did very
Okay.
well.
Well, thank
let's talk
Except
about
the
the
bourbon.
Let's drink it and talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about Rare
Talk
Breed
about-
because I think this
yeah.
is one that we've had before.
we totally
and
have.
I mean, I think listen, the story here, and we all know it, right? The
What number was this on the
father
list?
and son.
I don't know. I had a vision when I drank this for the first time.
You did. How much of it did you drink?
Oh, a sip.
By the way, that's in the text stream, but apparently you didn't read that either.
Oh, it's blurry pictures.
Yeah.
What proof 116 on this?
Yeah. This one comes in hot.
0.8.
That's right.
This is the Russells.
Yep.
Yep.
Jimmy and Eddie.
Jimmy and Eddie.
Jimmy and Eddie, father son, first father son master distiller.
Only father and son master distiller.
I think I'm
in the world.
I'm still correct.
Hey, look at this. Listen.
They are the first.
Oh, whoa!
Right.
Sounded like a bourbon.
I like it. Looks like a bourbon too.
It is number 5 on the list.
Cheers, Jimmy.
And this is the when we took a tour of Wild Turkey and
No, we
didn't
didn't.
know.
We didn't know.
clear.
We didn't know enough.
Jesus.
then
We
to
didn't.
appreciate
No,
it.
we really didn't.
You're not even looking at me tonight. It's like, am I even here? You're in
Where's
my
that coming
fucking
from?
house.
Where's that sound coming from?
It's your
I mean,
Compass
like,
t-shirt.
was it? Is he
Cool.
3?
I think he's 3.
He's blue.
Surprised I'm not
pot down
4.
3.
Last
that's
on the
okay.
list.
So when we were there, I don't think any of us really understood
No,
like
No way.
where we were because it just to me it felt like it was very
the three of us should
like
go back.
commercial.
Well, the whole facility wasn't very elegant or
No,
rustic. I mean, it was like a metal building
Yeah.
by the river.
on the edge of a creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big creek, but
It was a big creek.
But then like doing all this research and realizing that this is one of because I always thought Wild Turkey was just common and cheap and everyone knew it
Not
and it
the
was
rare
just too easy.
breed.
But then you get to the was it the Kentucky Gentleman?
I don't know. Tell me.
You have it.
What's that?
That fancy bottle you've got.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Then there's this rare breed, and then there's Russell's Reserve,
Kentucky
Yeah.
Spirit.
Kentucky Spirit. Okay. Which is they're all great.
It's like the
I mean,
kissing
they're,
cousin
They're
of
all
this
coming
thing, yeah.
coming from that same lineage.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is one of my favorite ones. And it's readily available. This is
Yep.
not
Yeah.
a hard one to find.
Yep.
No.
So for a high quality,
And the price point is usually what I've seen it as low as 45
Yep.
in like St. Louis, and it's more like 55 around here,
Yeah.
I believe. But
yeah,
59.
Worth every
59.
penny.
So yeah. So Kurt, you were on. You had a chance to be on a call with one of the Russell
Yeah,
boys.
it was on
didn't you?
it was like an interview with it was kind of like it wasn't a podcast, but it was like a live stream
Yeah.
interview with the son of the father.
Jimmy.
So Jimmy, yeah, and then Eddie, the grandfather. So this was Eddie's grandson, and he just was talking about. He had said that this is actually Eddie's favorite bourbon. It is his favorite bourbon from Wild Turkey. Now, whether there's something outside of that, don't know. But Rare Breed is definitely his favorite. It is one that he, I think, created, and the name. This is, I don't know if this is fact, but a little bit of lore that Eddie is a little bit of a rare breed, and thus the name Rare Breed.
I like it.
So, but yeah, it was a
Aptly
really
named.
cool interview to listen to him talk and answer some. It was great because like you could shoot questions to him, and
That's all. What'd you ask him?
I can't remember. It was like a year ago.
You like Rye?
oh sweet Jesus! Don't waste that question
Did you chat him just www.bourbonboys.com?
No.
because it's bourbonon.com.
Yeah, it was
Am I
like-
the only one that's paying attention? Damn. Not Rye Boys, Rye Rascals.
Dave. When's the last
Whiskey
time you've been to
Wieners.
our site, Dave? Just
Bourbon?
checking.
Oh.
Probably when you set up your.
Just recently promoted our. You guys should see some promotion thing on the.
Well, yeah,
their
but
website.
that's
still-
a cut. That's a cut and
you've
paste.
been
You
working
didn't
on any
actually go
good-
to the site.
Yeah. How are your puzzles coming there, crap?
I wonder if that's why our last promo sucked.
Probably you probably sent somebody else's
Could've been.
website.
I put bourbonon.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So if any of you guys ever need an idea of what to get me,
No.
this is
is it?
good.
That's
yeah,
your-
just,
that's
just,
your-
yeah, just if you want to write that down.
All right.
That's a go-to.
Yeah.
I like it.
And this one, so this one comes in hot, right? So this is barrel
116
strength.
And it will sneak up on you.
Barrel strength.
Barrel strength.
116.8. It will sneak up
Spoken-
on you. The
spoken
third
from
one,
experience.
yeah, the third one is really good. The fourth one's dangerous.
It's unremarkable or unmemorable or something like that. Okay, we'll keep an eye on you Well, I'm looking at you.
I'm fine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, now
Okay.
you're looking at me
I don't want
because
you- I don't want you to... No.
no.
These are... This is a hard
Do you guys
one.
need to hug it out or what?
This one to me is.
going on?
I actually find this one smoother than the Knob Creek,
What?
the rare breed.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I get I don't know. I think I get,
I like
I
them
get a
both. I
little
like
bit
them
more.
both.
Yeah,
I like them both,
That's
but
interesting.
I like them both.
I
But
think I
like,
get a little bit more spice out of the.
there's definitely more
Bigger
spice
one.
in the rare
Yes.
breed, but I definitely like that one for me for some reason is smoother than this one.
The
Knob
finish
Creek
on this
12.
thing is incredible.
It is.
It just,
The what?
The finish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It lingers.
It just
It's a tongue...
lingers. It's
For
so
me, it's a
warm.
whole spice tongue
Yeah.
Yep.
feel.
But that knob 12.
No, the Knob 12 is good. I don't deny that.
Super
I
good.
just to me this one is like good
Yep.
through and through. Like
Yeah.
from the moment you put it on your lips till it goes down. It's like
This one to me is like if I'm outside and it's freezing cold and you're by a bonfire, rare breed.
That's warming you up.
I don't. Yeah, it just warms you up and it's got a little bit a
It
little
does,
bit of kick to it. The Knob Creek to me is like it's just super smooth and tons of flavor. Just different, but both
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yep. There is a chest warm that comes with that wild turkey that is... It slows you down. Like, I think it gets you to really notice the taste
yeah.
versus just going for another sip.
I don't
But
get-
it's actually rare breed. It's not wild turkey because wild turkey is a specific bourbon.
That's fair. Thank you, Kurt.
You're welcome. So what would you
So-
call that? What would you call that?
I would call
it's
that
not wild
rare
turkey.
breed.
It's actually rare breed.
I'd
But
say
what is
the-
rare breed? Like how would you classify that?
it's a sub brand under.
Under the master brand Wild Turkey. I would say the distiller...
Which isn't the question we were trying to debate. at
It's
dinner.
not, and that's where I was
Yeah.
trying to go, but he didn't go with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, question:
You said it would take 45 minutes.
All right,
would.
exactly.
We still wouldn't have an answer.
That
we
was
still-
that was Alton's moving on cue.
Yeah,
So
so-
question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, question:
You want to go to
So-
the phones and take a call?
Yeah, you got one. This
we
is
can-
this is Jimmy on
I
Line
think you
Tree.
need to.
I got a question about the bourbons.
First time, long time.
First time caller. I've been listening.
He sounds like he's a nor'easter.
That's right.
Do you know what that?
Who
Do you
needs
know
a
what that
storm?
is?
It's not a storm. Sandy's the name of a storm, and oyster's a kind of storm. All right, so our friends at Whiskey Advocate. I'm trying to bring this back to my question before I forget it.
Yes.
Our friends at Whiskey Advocate,
Yes.
who do like bourbon, but they also like other stuff.
Are they paying us?
They,
Not yet. Once we're done with our
after I ask this
subscription.
question, they might not want to.
Okay.
So they've got a list of 20. These two are awesome. What was Rare Breed? Was number 2?
No, Knob Creek was 2.
Knob Creek was 2.
Knob Creek was 2. Overholt
Knob
was
Creek-
12.
Knob
Is this a
Overholt-
7?
No, Overholt was 5.
No, it was not 5.
I'm going to shut this thing down.
Yeah. just stay with me on the bourbons because I've got a question because I think I remember what was number 1, and it was a bourbon, right?
Number 1 was larceny.
Okay. So
Yeah, but let's be clear on the larceny. It was not just larceny. Knob Creek was 2. Rare Breed was 5.
okay. That's all.
Now we're
say
back.
No
Now
more.
the world's
Say no
back
more.
in balance.
Say no more.
All right.
All right. So 2 and 5, and then larceny. What was the larceny? I mean, it was number 1.
So the larceny is it's a barrel proof, but Daryl.
Daryl.
He's in the truck.
This is my brother Larry.
His other brother Daryl.
Daryl's our
My brother
producer in the
Daryl.
My
truck.
name's Daryl. This is my brother
Okay,
Daryl.
so we haven't tried that larceny then.
No,
We have not.
Oh, okay,
no.
okay. I was
That's
gonna,
like a.
I was going to
is that
say
a $200 bottle. Larceny.
No, it's a $50 bottle of larceny, but it is it's a straight bourbon barrel proof. There's something about the batches, so
Okay.
they're run 3 times a year. So and there's a special
So limited,
nomenclature
like a
that
limited
goes with
edition.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
What's that called?
Limited release.
a limited edition.
Okay.
And so this is like called batch B520, essentially, which means that it's a series, and then 5 is the day or is the month, and 20 is the year. So
it was May of 20 for all these.
For all you
very good.
scratching this thing out on a little scratch paper.
All right.
Anyway.
So I was going to ask about because we had
Yeah.
larceny. I thought it was good, not great, but relative to these two,
The larceny that we've been traveling with.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 yeah, that's
When we
why I
did
was curious to
conviction
see.
and,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Redemption.
So anyway, never mind.
That's a good episode.
So what was your
You
question?
heard that one?
Well, I was going to ask for your guys' thoughts on that versus these, but we haven't tried that.
Nope.
No.
But if you do see it, we're looking for what, a black label or green
Yeah.
label?
520.
It's a black label, and the number will vary, but this one is a B520.
Okay, that's tricky.
It is tricky.
B52s.
Now this rare breed's coming out of the barrel. This is barrel strength at 116.8 something, and that 0.8. Anytime there's a point in it, usually means that's what's coming out of the barrel at.
Yep.
Does it indicate how many barrels that one, or what bottle number that is out of what barrel? Because it would seem like they're not going to get that same strength for them to produce all those labels.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm always curious about that stuff.
It does.
Sounds like we need to go back.
Yes. Now that we know what we're talking about.
You say go back as if you've been there, but
Vicariously, maybe.
Maybe I have been there without you.
Oh. Well, now we know how it feels.
So what are we doing for last call tonight, Crap?
Well, I've been thinking about it, and I don't think I should do it.
You don't think you're up for it?
No, I don't think I should do it. I think I struck some type of nerve.
You went
that
out on a high note. That was
we need to like.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
What high note are you talking about?
It was like a 45-minute outro.
Whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I
It was like a Zeppelin concert.
dug up something from Alton's past. We got to dig into it.
All I want to say is the next time I'm talking history, don't even give me any shit. So, Mr. 4-pager, 17 paragraphs.
I
over
handed
there.
your ascot and tweed jacket back, so you're in good shape.
We're going to pull the 80s pictures out because I bet you anybody who's wearing an ascot and t-shirt is that young man over there.
Ascot and a
Mr.
t-shirt. How do you do that?
Whatever. So
I dare you.
okay, so last call. Rein it in. So last call. So 2020 was quite a year, right? So a lot of challenges that we faced.
It was a great year.
And I don't know about you guys, but we've had a lot of transition in our neighborhood. So a lot of new neighbors, a lot of good new neighbors. But
we back to gifting a bottle of bourbon.
Okay. So anyway, we haven't been able to like outreach like we would like to, right? Because of what's going on. So it's 2020. You're wrapping up the end of the year. You have a new neighbor who you know likes bourbon. And which one of these are you going to choose to take over, sit on the porch, and have a glass of bourbon with?
Is it Cynthia?
Or rye?
Well, I was going to say, well, I know it wouldn't be a rye.
Well, it could be a bad neighbor.
And why? Tell them why you picked it.
All right. You go, Captain?
Somebody go.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'm ready. I'm ready to move.
Yours might be the spiciest answer of all those. Should we say that?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, I think I'm so right now I'm holding the rare breed. Just looking at the label here, I'm going to go with, if I know this neighbor likes bourbon, then I'm bringing him a bourbon. I'm gonna bring him the rare breed. That's going to be my go-to. Because this is something, there's something special about this taste that is going to kind of force us to sit and get to know each other better. Like 2020, I think, was a mixed year. We've had great conversations about this. It was a great year in many respects, where it pushed us to totally different levels, and it was a tough year at the same time.
Yep.
But there's something about rare breed that is we're going to have a lot to talk about. It's going to give us the time, because this is not a fast drinking bourbon.
That's a really short visit.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
So this is going to slow it down for me, and at this point, I want something that's going to slow me down. And we're going to spend the time. We're going to have 2 or 3 pours on this one.
Yep.
And get to know each other real fast.
Yep.
So that's
Good
my
call.
go-to.
Good call.
Who wants it next?
Anybody?
Go, Dave.
I'm not ready.
All right. He's going deep. He's going deep.
No.
All right. So I'm going to go almost the same place, but different. Sticking in the bourbon family. But
Is it same place or different?
It's on Bourbon Street.
Okay.
But it's a different front porch, I guess. I'm going to the Knob Creek 12. Rare breed, definitely one of my top, 5, if not top 3. So always enjoy that. But the Knob Creek's kind of a little different. I mean, it's a little harder to come by. So if I have this bottle, again, it's just one more kind of unique twist on the outreach of, hey, we're going to try something together we may not be able to find every other day. So same thing. You're going to sit down. You're going to slow down with this, sip away, enjoy. Yeah. Lots of rich flavor. Probably something that they may have tried the Knob Creek just flat
9.
label, whatever that is.
Yeah.
The 9, or even the 9 or something. But
Yeah.
I agree. I think there's opportunity to sit, slow down, and enjoy this, and maybe something you won't be able to circle back to soon.
I think I think that is Alton's optimistic side coming through, which is that was a good positive outcome of 2020 was this introduction of Knob Creek.
Yep.
Like that batch that came out in April, that was the lowest point globally in a long time. And that was bold enough to come out then.
Yep. And it's here. That's right.
And it's here.
Good call. Good call.
I like it.
I've been over here trying to figure out how to bring Old Overholt into this, and I can't.
Thanks for trying.
No, I was really trying.
If they're allergic, to cork in any way, this is perfect.
Again, it's not bad.
strange
It's not
cork
bad.
allergy.
It's probably a fine mixer.
It is
but
good. Yeah, it
my,
is good.
My whole deal, it's interesting because when I look at Rare Breed, the Wild Turkey brand itself, it's not fancy, right? I mean, it's kind of like it's a higher end brand within what I would call kind of the middle range of bourbons, right? And so from that perspective, it feels super authentic and kind of what you see is what you get. And so thinking about meeting a new neighbor and sitting down and sharing a bottle of bourbon, that one feels right to me just because it's like a super authentic brand that has created something that is probably in my top 5. And to share that with somebody that's a new neighbor and get to know them and celebrate an interesting year, that'd be probably where I would go.
Good.
But it's tough between that and the Knob Creek because they're both really, really good bourbons. But that one feels more kind of what you see is what you get, core kind of authentic. Whereas the Knob Creek might be a little highbrow maybe just because it's harder to find. But both fantastic.
Yep.
Well described.
Kurt going with the Old Overhaul.
I probably would go with the Old Overholt because if anybody would invite me back to their porch after bringing them a twist off bottle of whiskey.
There you go.
No, I'm just kidding. Listen, I didn't mind the Old Overholt. Not the best we've had, but also not the worst. Yeah. And certainly if I had it in my cabinet, which apparently I'm going to after
sure,
tonight,
absolutely going to. Yeah.
I would still drink it and potentially use it as a mixer,
It's a good
but
mixer, yeah.
I actually didn't mind it. I would go with the Rare Breed only because I know more of the story there, just because of my work with that brand, and also just the story around the distillers, which I think would be a really cool thing to share with a neighbor who's not super familiar with that. And also, I think you had said it, Derek. It's not one that you would toss back pretty quickly, so it would definitely create a nice timeline on the porch to just have a conversation and get to know somebody. So I would definitely go with Rare Breed.
What if the neighbor didn't want to drink it slow?
Then I would say,
You learn a lot.
You learn a lot.
You get to know each
That's
other
right.
real quick.
Real quick. Exactly. So
the best.
but yeah, I think it's good.
The best part of this type of dialogue is the reverse of the situation. Your neighbor shows up to have a drink with you on your porch,
And they bring the twisty?
and they bring the twist top. Tell me you're not going to smile and say, "Yeah, as a matter of fact, I have tried that."
Yep.
And pour me some.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you are.
It's not a bad. It's not.
It's not a bad.
It's not.
But
Not
if
a
he
bad
tries to
bottle.
pass it off as bourbon, I'm throwing his ass out.
Yeah, if he's wearing a bourbon T-shirt,
Wow. I've never seen him so riled up.
Well, I mean, look,
I'm a purist.
It's not a bad bottle, but I still it's not a number 12.
Yeah.
That's a shocker.
Well, I mean, listen, we also don't know exactly how they went about rating him either. So
yeah, that's why you want to stay tuned for the Bourbon Boys list of
2021.
Top 21
Bourbons.
and
Bourbons.
21.
We've had over, I think, what do you say? We had over like 120 bourbons last year,
Yeah.
and this would not have been on the 120 list in my book.
Well, it can't be. It's not a
That's
bourbon,
not
Derek.
bourbon, Derek. Do you remember where we're
For
coming
that
from?
reason,
How many bottles? How many bottles?
I think we had over 120.
Don't do the math.
Yeah, he's doing the math
That
on this
hurts.
one.
Yeah,
Seriously.
don't hurt.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It's not about the money, Dave.
Well, those are the ones Those were the ones we tried on the show.
That's right. Exactly.
We could have bought Kurt's car out there and had a little extra money
wow.
for tuna.
We
You
could have
could
bought
have.
the actual Old Overholt distillery.
The one in Pennsylvania that's crumbling.
The one.
Okay.
The one.
All right.
All right,
Easy,
gentlemen, this
easy.
has been a
Thank you.
blast. It was good to have everybody back together.
Yeah.
We tried 3 3 winners. I'm going to put them all winners, Derek.
Thank
Don't
you.
throw any at me. We
3 whiskeys.
We started off with a Knob Creek 12 that is excellent. Put it on your list. We then moved over. We bookended the great stuff with the good stuff. So Old Overholt, bottled and blonde, straight rye whiskey, $24. Can't go wrong. Just you might have to get down on the floor to find it.
Not true.
Not true. All right, and it is a red screw off tap. And then we've got the rare breed from Wild Turkey.
And
Classic.
if anybody finds a Knob Creek, they can send it to us. We'll be more than happy to review it again.
Amen.
Yeah,
to that.
We'd be happy to pay him for it.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So, gentlemen, good time, good seeing everybody.
Here.
It's a matter of opinion.
Bourbon on.
Bourbon out.
Very nice.